all-star break for players to heal back up and get their bodies right.
You know, you want to be close to 100%. When you have those like little injuries, especially the twisted ankle that just will not strengthen, getting 4 or 5 days off, getting a chance to go somewhere, be in the sun, just get that body rejuvenated, this always helps. And you can see sometimes players come back after all-star break, they go to another level.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Ejuan Moore is out there with Anthony Davis. Then it's Holiday. Then it's Okafor. And it's Rondo in at the 1 spot. The Spurs shooting their first free throws of the game.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Murray. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Now here is Holiday. Against Phoenix, he was really on his game. Picked by Okafor. And Moore kicks to Rondo. To the inside, Davis. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Rondo is out there to distribute the ball. He is a master at finding the open man.
Here's Murray. He's coming off a 13-point game against Cleveland.
And he caused major problems with his defense as well. He had 4 steals by the time the game was over.
Green dishes to Aldridge. The shot off that time. Excellent D there from Okafor. Here's New Orleans. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
When things come too easy, it's easy to lose focus. But they held each other accountable and played hard.
Now here's Murray. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. And Drew Holiday, the bucket on the assist by Rondo.
And Rondo is a dime dropper, one of the best passing point guards our game has ever seen.
Murray kicks to Bertans. Green inside the three-point line, and that's collected by Drew Holiday. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. And it's Rondo in the corner. They set the pick. Okafor up top. Outside Holiday. Just 4 to shoot. Over Murray. The shot by Holiday, no good.
I'll tell you what, despite the miss, he's going to be looking for that same shot again.
Outside Aldridge. From deep, Green. Again, the miss by Green.
Still scoreless after 4 attempts, struggling to find any daylight.
Moore passes to Rondo. Over Murray. It's not going to go for him. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Their last meeting was in New Orleans, where they were unable to fight off the Pelicans.
Yeah, in this game, they'll want to approach things a little differently, I think. Got blown out last time due to being a little too aggressive on the defensive side.
A really embarrassing loss indeed, and one that they will hopefully learn from. Got to keep your hands to yourself sometimes, or it could cost you the game.
Inside, Davis. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
Now here's Murray. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Green. Looking to end the drought. Pelicans pull it in.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You can see he's frustrated with that one. Knows it's up to him to make that play.
Rondo on top. He's covered by Murray. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
Really admire the fact that Rondo is not afraid to go down there in the paint from time to time.
Green with the ball. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Holiday against Green. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
A monster pick set by Aldridge. Just good fundamental basketball.
Outside Rondo. Back to Holiday. Davis sets a screen. Holiday dishes to Okafor. Right side Rondo. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
The length and anticipation of Aldridge. A tough combo to score against.
Now here's Murray. Now Aldridge. Back to Murray. Aldridge a screen. Shot off the screen. No good off the front iron.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Moore right side. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got his third rebound tonight.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
They set the pick. Green kicks to Murray. And he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
And that's a great pass. Danny Green showing us he can do more than D it up and 3 it up. The Spurs, a top 7 offensive team for the last 7 seasons. Their passing and perimeter shooting is what really sets them apart.
New Orleans making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one misses. And the Spurs among the league's best in three-point shooting, but they really don't rely on that as some teams do.
You know, the Spurs can change it up. No, they embrace the mid-range a little bit more than the three-point shot right now. Kind of going against the grain in that way. They take shots other teams avoid, and they make it work for them.
Dishes it to Murray. Tries again, and it's laid in by Aldridge. Aldridge has got his first points in this one.
The wingspan, the timing, Aldridge devastating on the offensive glass.
Mirotic, a screen on Anderson. Here's Moore, and he banks in the layup. Moore's got his first 2 points of the night.
You've got to give a ton of credit to the screener. That play easily opened up the easy layup for his teammate.
Outside Rondo. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
And here's a look at the stats for Anthony Davis. The past month has been surreal. He's putting up 33 points a night, 12 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. And not many players possess his kind of ability to protect the rim. I mean, you look at the block total, pretty remarkable.
All shots he's changed just by challenging them. Such a luxury to have someone like this as your last line of defense.
Now here's Moore, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Davis sets a screen, and it's Moore penetrating. Doesn't get it to drop for him.
He can't find his mojo. Tough quarter for him scoring the basketball.
Over in the corner, Green. Pass to Aldridge. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
That's a bad dude right there. Aldridge taking the hit, shakes it off for the score.
Mirotic, a screen on Green. Holiday, the pass to Davis. He feeds it to Mirotic. New Orleans moving the ball around. Here's Holiday. Good on the 13-footer. Holiday's got 7.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. The Spurs offense for a long time built around the penetration of Tony Parker. Drive and kick.
Well, that's the one thing you love about Pop in the Spurs organization. They understand their style and their system. As he's gotten older, they've gone back to the block, posting up Aldridge and Kawhi. Leonard also fills that ball handler role in attacking and pick and rolls.
Now here is Miller, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Davis against Gasol. And that one's good by Davis.
He's just one of those guys who just knows how to generate offense regardless of the situation.
Mills dishes to Gasol. Feeds to Mills. Gasol kicks to Mills. Kicks it out to Ginobili. Gay in the corner. Over Miller. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
And they have a narrow edge here in rebounding early on, and you wonder what kind of a role that's going to play moving forward.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Mills, following the score by New Orleans. Miller outside, out to the right wing. Clark the pass to Miller. Mirotic the screen. Here's Holiday, and the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And now an 11-point Pelican lead.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Gasol a screen, and here's Mills for 3. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Clark. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Well, if you're the coach, you're frustrated right now. That's exactly the look you're trying to get on offense.
Shot to stop the run. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, you see right there, Rudy attacks and maintains focus. He is a load to contain.
And when you watch Rudy Gay out there on the court, you see just why he's always been a solid scorer in our league. I mean, any situation, any type of offense, he can find a way to get points, and really one of the more underrated players we have in our league.
San Antonio making a switch here. Forbes checked in.
1 shot.
That's good from Rudy Gay. And with Rudy Gay, scoring, Greg, has never been a problem for him, has pretty much had the same level of production his entire career.
Yeah, and if you say that about some players, it's considered an insult, but it's a good thing for Gay. Usually will shoot in the mid-40s for his field goal percentage and solid at that small forward position. Also a great ISO game.
Catching the ball in rhythm, the sweet stroke. Gasol making it look easy.
Outside Holiday. Davis with a screen on Gasol. And Mirotic kicks to Miller. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backdoor.
Ginobili dishes to Gay. Over Mirotic. No good from Gay.
And you see why his reputation is so strong defensively. He allows no separation.
And so many defenses are not designed to take away the mid-range jumper, but he's given nothing away.
And Mills kicks to Gay. Shoots from the line. Another miss by Gay. New Orleans leading by 5. 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Miller sets a screen for Holiday. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Holiday's got 11 points.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Shoots off the screen. Shot's good by Mills.
One of the smallest men on the floor, Mills using his quickness against good interior defense.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Holiday, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. 13 points in the game.
We will talk about feed the hot hand. That's what they're doing this quarter, which is why they've been able to maintain momentum.
Gasol a screen. There's the pick. And here's Gay outside. That shot, no good. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. Back to the action after this word. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through this Spurs organization.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
I mean, through one, you have to like the effort, especially on that defensive end.
There are several ways, as you know, to take control of a game. Getting stops is one of them.
Rudy Gay is out there with Ginobili. Then it's Pau Gasol. And it's Mills. And it's Forbes in at the 2 spot. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And, David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game. There are a lot of punishing players in the league, Steve, you know that, who will just hound that offensive glass. Who are your top picks for the best offensive rebounders right now in the league?
I think Andre Drummond, Dwight Howard, Kenneth Faried, some of those guys that just attack the glass. DeAndre Jordan, some of those guys are just relentless. Zach Randolph doesn't do it with a lot of athleticism, but he gets great position. Those guys have a knack of getting offensive rebounds. And
they can just read it well, right? A lot of guys just read these rebounds the right way. They know where that bounce is going to go, the angle of the shot and everything else.
And it's such an art to be able, like you said, to read the angle and get into position and understanding how guys miss shots. And that's an art because guys have to put in a lot of film work to do that.
And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
And the second free throw, good. Spurs trail by 5. Parker kicks to Gay. Shoots over Mirotic. He drains the turnaround jump shot. Gay's got 5 points so far. The Pelicans have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Clark kicks to Mirotic. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. From outside the arc, offensive rebound. Out to Miller. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and 3-point shot attempts so far for the Spurs.
And they are going where the going is good for them right now. The painted area, high percentage and high volume shots.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Gasol, a screen on Miller. Fires from the line. Pelicans pull it in. They've led by as many as 11 points. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road.
And let's now take a look at Nikola Mirotic. He's been a factor for them over the last month. 10th in blocks. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And his ability to patrol the lane is a difference maker for that team. Exceptional timing and anticipation. That's why he's a top 10 shot blocker. No good on the free throw.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area. And every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Here's Liggins looking for his first basket still in this one. And it's Okafor missing. And Anderson kicks to Parker. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Right there, the body control of Parker. You see the adjustment after contact for the potential and one.
And Tony Parker in his prime, one of the best slashing point guards this league has ever seen. Just an outstanding finisher amidst the tall players. And one season, how about he almost led the league in points in the paint, a surefire Hall of Famer.
And Tony Parker, no good on that one. And a bit of a down year for Tony Parker in 2017. His lowest three-point percentage in 5 years. Lowest free throw percentage in 9.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see him hitting threes at a higher clip. The previous couple seasons, he shot it up over 40%. And a great way, I think, to boost his offense, even though he has slowed down a bit.
And so it's New Orleans with it, following the bucket by the Spurs. Yep, that one goes.
And when Rondo is dropping in the mid-range shots, it really opens up the floor for everyone else.
Parker passes to Gasol. And Forbes kicks to Parker. That shot is off. Great D that time from Rondo.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
He is so out of his element right now. Hasn't made a shot all quarter. I feel for him.
Forbes can't get it to go. New Orleans gone 0 of 3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Outside Rondo kicks to Moore. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Not an easy finish right there, but a beautiful move to give himself just enough space to get in close and knock it down.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
Davis Bertans checks in for San Antonio. And Steve, free throws, not the most exciting aspect of the game, certainly, but they're a great way to put points on the board. Talk about the mentality for a score. You know, getting to the line and making that part of his game.
Kevin, if you're a scorer, you got to be able to knock down free throws, especially those games you're not shooting a high percentage from the field. But if you can get to the line 6 times, 7 times on your own, and you're shooting 85 to 90%, that gives you 5 or 6 points. And then you have a couple technical fouls, and you put another 2 points on there. You're talking about a guy as a scorer that are 9, we call it free points. Now you need a couple threes and a couple one-on-one moves. You're at 20, and everything else after that is gravy.
LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Pau Gasol.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
Free throw drops in for Tony Parker.
With the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs going against the grain. Most teams going small and shooting threes. Aldridge, a big forward who loves the mid-range.
Now here is Mirotic. He had 10 points in the win against Phoenix.
You know what? I also like how he attacked the glass. Gave a terrific effort in that department.
Now here's Green, following the miss by Nikola Mirotic. Parker with it. 5 points in the game. Back to Green. Let's go. Buries the jump shot. Green's got 4 points in the quarter. And with Aldridge in the paint alongside another 7-footer, the Spurs have plenty of length inside.
Yeah, they do. LaMarcus Aldridge with pretty good mobility for a player his height. He's able to move his feet defensively and cover the pick and roll perfectly. Hitting only 1 of 5 this quarter. He's in a little bit of a slump, but it looks like he's trying to shoot his way out of it.
Aldridge a screen. Parker dishes to Green. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Anderson. Bertzinus, the pass to Anderson. Aldridge a screen. Anderson in the post. Moore's there. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
The Spurs shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
One shot.
And the Spurs with Pau Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge up front. A huge front court, long front court. Steve, is that something they can stick with when teams like the Warriors go small?
No, I don't think so, Kevin. That's a challenge for them. Aldridge has to cover the 4 in those situations, and Gasol just doesn't have the lateral mobility at this point in his career.
Latrey, and another 3 for New Orleans.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
San Antonio trailing here. Green, the screen. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Passes to Green. Okafor grabs the miss. Okafor's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Moore against Anderson. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
The pass to Anderson. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Anderson. Aldridge a screen. Here's Green, and Green slams it in.
This is something Danny has been working on, putting the ball on the floor and taking it strong.
New Orleans gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Here's Liggins. They set the pick. Mirotic has a wide open look. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
Their 3rd 3-pointer in a row.
Outside, Green. Anderson the screen. Parker against Rondo. Parker dishes to Aldridge. Out to Parker. The 3-pointer no good. And here's Rondo. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Okafor kicks to Liggins. Shot clock at 5, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And San Antonio called for the foul. And Steve, in your playing days, you always struck that balance, I always thought, between calling your own number and creating for teammates. That's a real gift.
It is, and I think the value of playing winning basketball, Kevin, is whatever play dictates making your teammates better or making the winning play. I think a lot of guys right now get caught up in stats. Whatever's the play to help your team win, that's the play that needs to be made.
Yeah, well said. The first free throw is good.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Murray's checked in for the Spurs. Mills comes in for Tony Parker. Davis is checked in for New Orleans. Holiday comes in for Rajon Rondo. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
After having no trips to the free throw line in the first period, he's being much more aggressive now.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And Steve, is the big 3 in San Antonio age and retire? How big was it for San Antonio to sign the all-star LaMarcus Aldridge?
You know, it's huge, Kevin, a Texas native, and it's easy to see why he chose the Spurs. It's been interesting to see him integrate his game into their system.
Two shots.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from 3.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket, and with his size, that turnaround Jay is just about unstoppable.
Here's Liggins, 5 points in the game, and stolen by Aldridge. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And it's Murray with the jam.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
Mirotic, a screen on Green, and Holiday kicks to Mirotic. And again, New Orleans has no luck. San Antonio's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Here's Bertans. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And Moore kicks to Holiday. The feed to Davis. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. And the Pelicans lead by 4.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Murray, that's a good shot, and now he's 3 for 7.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Liggins, the pass to Holiday. Davis with a screen on Green, and Holiday kicks to Davis, and Davis throws it down. Great game for him, double-double now. 10 points and 12 rebounds.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. That's tipped. From deep, Moore buries it from 3-point range. And now a 7-point New Orleans lead.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Murray dishes to Mills. Pass to Green. Aldridge a screen. The drive by Green. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
His temperature is rising. I mean, it is rising.
Pelicans leading by 5. And Holiday kicks to Liggins. The dish to Mirotic. Davis sets a screen. Pass to Holiday. Davis inside. Aldridge is covering. It's good. That's 12 points for Davis.
He's been so consistent scoring the basketball. It has helped him tack on to this lead.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs have never been the flashy team in the NBA. Tony Parker said beautiful basketball is playing the right way. Ball movement, pure, beautiful basketball is the way we've played. We have all sorts of fans, and there should be something for everybody. Kevin, he told me a long time ago, if we were in New York, people would love us.
And during Popovich's time in San Antonio, the Spurs have always played together, D.A. Got to respect their team-first approach to the game. For San Antonio, they have made 2/3 of their free throws tonight, 6 of 9 to be exact.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Aldridge.
It's interesting. Aldridge used to shoot more free throws. That's when he used to bang inside. Now he's shooting a lot from the outside, so that trend will likely continue.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Pau Gasol is checked in for Davis Bertans. Gay comes in for Danny Green. And it's Ginobili in for DeJounte Murray. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. 59 seconds left to play in the first half. Holiday against Gay. Holiday the pass to Davis. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. He is a scorching 86%. Spurs trail by 7. Dishes to Gay. Gasol setting the pick for Gay. It's stolen by Davis. Outside Holiday. And stolen by Aldridge. Now here's Mills. Defense is right there. And Aldridge the basket on the assist by Mills. Mills has got his 3rd assist on the night. Miller sets a screen for Holiday. Feeds it to Davis. Trying his luck deep. And again, New Orleans with the triple. Just 4 seconds left in the first half of the game. Holiday. No good. Shot missing. And so it's New Orleans holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the main issue during the first half?
We didn't make shots.
Thank you for that insightful analysis, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
We so
Show.
hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. What a game it's been for Drew Holiday. He had 16 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. What did you think, Shaq, about New Orleans?
They got to be happy with their production at the point guard position. Drew Holiday, when healthy, is one of the best point guards on the planet. He's showing it tonight.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Spurs?
Well, the perimeter D is just too loose. I mean, there's no excuse for letting the team rain that many threes on you. And at that high a percentage, guys aren't fighting through screens. They're not staying with their shooters. They're not helping out. Just bad basketball on the defensive end. They've got to tighten it up on a high level in the second half.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. An exceptional performance from Drew Holiday.
And
So it's the Pelicans now. They've led by as many as 11 points. On the floor for Alvin Gentry as we get into the second half. They've got E'Twaun Moore. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Davis, and it's Okafor in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. And a look here at the shot chart for New Orleans.
And when you come into a game with the mindset of going right at the rim and not settling for outside shots, this is what your shot chart will look like. Every chance they've had to either attack the paint or play back to the basket, they've taken it, and it's been a complete success thus far.
Here's Davis.
A good defensive position by Aldridge. Veteran play. He really affected that shot.
Murray dishes to Aldridge. Aldridge a screen. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Green. Again, the Spurs good for two.
You know, Kevin, it's easy to forget, but Greg Popovich was almost fired by the Spurs back in '99. Rough start that year, under 500. The players caught wind that if they didn't win the next game in Houston, Pop would get the X.
And amazing to think about an all-time great like Popovich being on the hot seat. His players went to the mat for him, though, didn't they?
Some huge performances by Tim Duncan, among others. They really came out to support Pop. The Spurs finished that season on a tear, going on to win the franchise first NBA title.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
Now, here's Aldridge. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Why don't we now look at the league's highest scoring teams? The real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. The Pelicans 4th.
And how about the year they've had offensively? This is a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Always fun to watch them play.
First free throw is good. And so he hits both.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
To the inside, it's tipped. No good from Moore.
You can't ask for a higher percentage look than the one that he got. I think he lost his concentration.
Bertans kicks to Green. Davis against Aldridge. 6 to shoot. It's good. Aldridge has got 13.
I'm thinking of bigs in this league. Not many have a better in-between game than Aldridge.
Pick by Okafor, and here's Moore outside. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got 4 assists now tonight.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Now here's Green. 12 points for him. Aldridge with a screen on Holiday. Here's Green. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Green's got 4 points this quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And it's Moore penetrating. Good for his 6th make in a dozen attempts, shooting 50% with that basket.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Especially at that kind of height disadvantage. You're looking to score the ball or at least draw the foul.
Now here's Green. He's got 14. Aldridge a screen. Green draws the double. Murray for 3. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Okafor.
In a moment here, let's check out the numbers for Murray. A strong stretch of play the last 10 games. Putting up about 10 points a night, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And the numbers, they back it up. Whether he can sustain this level of production, we don't know. But the arrow's pointing upward right now.
Here's Rondo. After the basket by San Antonio. Outside Holiday. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart. And let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
Anderson the screen. There's Tennis, the pass to Murray. Offline from the top of the key.
Not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. The Pelicans have made 2/3 of their free throws tonight. 6 of 9 to be exact.
Two shots.
The first free throw is good. And the Spurs with some changes. Forbes checked in, and Tony Parker subbed in for DeJounte Murray. And so Moore nails both of them.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Parker kicks to Forbes. Now here's Anderson. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Can't capitalize on the good pick. New Orleans leading by 9. Holiday sets the pick for Rondo. He kicks to Davis. And they double up Davis. Okafor dishes to Moore. Pick by Okafor. And it's Rondo in the corner. Offline with his 3. For San Antonio, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Parker passes to Aldridge. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
80 million reasons why Aldridge is able to do this, living up to his contract and one.
And this is his 4th trip to the free throw line tonight.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
Pelicans leading by 6. Now Moore. He's got 18. He dishes it to Rondo. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Rondo's got his third basket of the night.
And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Aldridge with a screen on Rondo. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Lays it up off the glass. Aldridge has got 9 points now in just the second half.
Great concentration by Aldridge. Lots of heat on him in there. Doesn't matter.
Pick by Okafor. And Rajon Rondo, the basket on the assist by Davis. And it's 8 points for Rajon Rondo.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Here's Aldridge. And the shot falls short this time. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Moore against Anderson. Here's the teardrop. And it's good on the way in. And it's a 10-point Pelican lead.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
San Antonio calls timeout. On the last few seasons, the NBA has seen its share of teams that provide that villain role for the league. The Warriors, perhaps with Kevin Durant, LeBron when he was in Miami and now in Cleveland. Do you think having a villain in the NBA is a good thing for the league?
Well, I think the right type of villain. And when you start talking about Kevin Durant and LeBron James, those are right type of villains because they're getting criticized as a villain because of not of their actions on the floor or off the court, just the choices they made to switch teams. But both those guys, LeBron and Kevin Durant, so far has handled it perfectly, and that's why the league's in good hands.
And here's Moore outside. A three-pointer is right on target. Moore's got 12 points now in the quarter.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Anderson the screen. Gay against Mirotic to end the run. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Nice play. Gay with the quickness to get in close and the size to close the deal.
Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
New Orleans leading by 10. Rondo kicks to Mirotic. Back to Rondo. Davis setting the pick for Rondo. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
The craftiness of Rondo makes him a tough cover in pick and roll sets. Just when you think he's going to pass, he'll surprise you with the shot.
Now here's Gasol. Count the basket. Gasol's got 5. For New Orleans, they've gotten 8 of their 11 shots to drop since the break. A great third quarter for them offensively. Rondo dishes to Davis. Clark kicks to Mirotic. Davis setting the pick for Mirotic. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
An even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Kicks to Forbes. There's the pick. At the top of the key, Gay. And they double up Gay. And stolen by Mirotic. Clark the pass to Rondo. He feeds it to Miller. Mirotic, a screen on Gay. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Davis. Good work defensively by Gasol. Spurs trail by 12. Ginobili outside. Parker kicks to Gasol. The Spurs working the ball around now. Pass to Parker. The feed now to Ginobili. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. New Orleans leading by 12. Rondo with it. He's got 10. Davis setting the pick for Rondo. And it's Clark in the corner. And a miss there on the triple. San Antonio's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Parker kicks to Gasol. Ginobili dishes to Gay. Gasol, a screen on Mirotic. Gay outside. Shoots over Mirotic. And off the front iron, and in it goes. And that's 10 points for Rudy Gay.
High percentage look for mid-range. Rudy quick into the air and accurate from that distance.
Rondo kicks to Mirotic. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Spurs trail by 10. Gasol up top. Mirotic against Gay. He goes up again. Good D by Miller.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Rondo kicks to Mirotic. Clark the pass to Davis. Over Gasol. And they double up Davis. Outside Rondo. Jacks up a three. San Antonio with the rebound. Gay's got his 5th rebound in this one. Parker kicks to Gasol. The pass to Forbes. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Back to Parker. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Parker's got it back down to single digits for the Spurs.
Sneaking inside, converting the high percentage look. Something Parker does well.
On the wing, Miller. A 3-ball. The shot will not fall. It's the Spurs taking it the other way. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Here is Forbes, covered by Miller. Pass to Parker. Fires the 3. Cans it from downtown. Parker's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Even though he's still more of a long 2-point shooter, Tony's increased his range over the years.
The dish now to Mirotic. Miller outside. Mirotic sets the screen for Miller. Back to Mirotic. Davis with a screen on Gasol. Here's Mirotic. The teardrop falls in. Mirotic has got 7 points.
Mirotic, not just a perimeter guy, he has a variety of ways to score in the paint.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Parker kicks to Gasol. Here's Gay. Shoots over Mirotic, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic. And he can't get the first one.
A talented, versatile player who has been on a few teams. Rudy Gay is still going.
Danny Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Parker. And New Orleans also making a change. DeAndre Liggins, he's checked in for Rajon Rondo. Good on the second free throw. New Orleans leading by 6. Here's Clark. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Davis inside. Good work defensively by Gasol. Mills. That shot is off. And we've reached the end of the third. Pelicans ahead, up 6. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the 4th quarter gets underway. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
This game is a big boy game.
We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. Spurs trail by 6. Mills and Manu at the guards. Pau Gasol is out there with Rudy Gay, and it's Green in at the 3 slot. That's the San Antonio 5. Now here's Gay. Mills can't hit.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Here's Clark. Pass to Mirotic. To the paint, trying to find Davis. He's got it now. The 11-footer, good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
And he's doing it efficiently, taking makeable shots. That's led to a high percentage from the field.
Now here's Gay. Shoots over Mirotic. Gay can't get it to go. Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Here's Clark. Buries it from about 10 feet away. And it's a 10-point New Orleans lead.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Shoots over Mirotic. Another miss by Gay. Well, for New Orleans, shooting at 51%. Really solid. Miller kicks to Davis. It's stolen by Green. Miller against Green. And Mirotic has it in the corner. And a miss there on the triple.
He just can't get it cranked up from beyond the arc. No threes in this half after just hitting 1 in the first.
Mills dishes to Gay. Gasol a screen. Mills in the corner. Shot clock at 6. Gasol a screen on Davis. Here's Mills. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper.
Nice conversion off the pick and roll. Patty with the right read takes it himself.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Gasol. Davis Bertans comes in for Rudy Gay. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And Murray's subbed in for Patty Mills. New Orleans also making some changes. Okafor is checked in for Anthony Davis. Etuan Moore comes in for Miller. And it's Holiday in for DeAndre Liggins. And that one falls for Clark. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Green kicks to Bertans. Anderson the screen. Bertans the pass to Murray. And here is Green. To the paint, Aldridge. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. And that's now 20 points for Aldridge.
I'll tell you what, LaMarcus is rolling. Hard man to stop once he gets going.
Okafor with a screen on Green. And Holiday kicks to Mirotic. Picked by Okafor. Teardrop shot and the layup by Mirotic. And the Pelicans lead by 11.
See, in this half, I feel like he's a much different shooter. Calm, focused, and letting things come to him.
San Antonio calls timeout. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team during the break. He told them flat out, we are turning the ball over too much, guys. We can't keep making the hero ball play. Slow it down, run the offense, and make the safe pass. Back to you, Kevin.
Trains the three-pointer.
Catch and shoot. This is where Danny Green makes his money.
Okafor with the screen on Aldridge. And Moore kicks to Holiday. Now here is Mirotic. 5 on the clock, and it's Clark in the corner. Lets the three fly. Bertans grabs the board.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
What I love is he takes the right angle, affects the shot without fouling.
Now here's Murray. Green kicks to Murray. Over Holiday. Pelicans with the rebound. Okafor's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And Holiday has it in the corner. That one, no good. Great D that time from Green. Dishes it to Aldridge. Murray kicks to Anderson. Feeds to Green. Okafor against Aldridge. Outside, Green. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Green's got 19 points.
Using the screen like his own personal bodyguard, Green gets the separation.
Mirotic up top. Back to Holiday. From 11 feet away. Again, Holiday missing.
And you see why his reputation is so strong defensively. He allows no separation.
And so many defenses are not designed to take away the mid-range jumper, but he's given nothing away.
From the wing, Okafor grabs the miss. Okafor's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Moore against Anderson. Bounces high off the rim and drops. He's got 25.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
Right. No reason to take it all the way to the rack. Instead, take what the defense allows.
And Okafor with the block. Here's Holiday. Another miss by Holiday.
And that's the look this offense is designed to produce.
Always frustrating when you do everything right, yet just can't complete the play. Sharing the basketball. Plenty of guys talk about it, but not everyone does it.
Now Mirotic. It's stolen by Green. He kicks to Murray. Aldridge is screen. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
No doubt for me, the offense looks better in the second half. They've been able to dial down those turnovers, and that's been a huge help.
Rajon Rondo is checked in for the Pelicans. Pelicans leading by 6. Mirotic sets the screen for Rondo. He dishes it to Okafor. He gets that one.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
The Spurs have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. Anderson outside. The 11-footer. He can't get that one. Excellent D there from Okafor. Moore in the corner. Back to Rondo. Pick by Okafor. Outside Rondo, down low, and Okafor slams it in.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. That one's good. The New Orleans lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Murray. Outside Rondo. Here's Holiday. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
This is, and I think his coach would agree, unacceptable. 1 turnover in the first half, now multiple turnovers since the break. Too much.
Anthony Davis is checked in for Mirotic. The Spurs have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Murray kicks to Bertans. He feeds it to Anderson. Passes it to Aldridge. It's rebounded by New Orleans. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Davis sets a screen. Holiday dishes to Davis. Kicks it to Moore. Shot clock at 5. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Moore's got 27 points. Spurs trail by 10. Murray with it. At the elbow, it's Aldridge. Double team on Aldridge. There, Tennis passes to Green. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
Free throw good, Murray.
And they are making it look easy at the free throw line here in the second half.
And so Murray nails both of them. Pelicans leading by 8. Here is Rondo. And Moore kicks to Holiday. Out to the wing. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. It's Anderson with the drive. Here's Aldridge. He watches it go through the hoop for his 8th make. Now 8 for 14.
Really another fantastic offensive rebound and putback. This is the second game in a row where he has just been ball dominant.
When he gets into one of these grooves, you never know how long they're going to last. Sometimes they go on and on and on.
And then Okafor slams it in.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Murray kicks to Anderson. Aldridge inside, working on Okafor. Aldridge a screen. Green dishes to Aldridge. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got his 4th assist in this one.
With the amount of moves Aldridge has inside as a defender, you never know what to take away.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Murray the pass to Anderson. Now the feed to Aldridge. Double team on Aldridge. Aldridge a screen. Okafor grabs the miss. Okafor's got 11 rebounds in the game. And the foul called on Danny Green. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Here's Holiday. And Moore kicks to Rondo. And here is Moore. And there's the pass to Davis. Lock at 6. Goes up the baseline. Nice spin off the left rim and in. And it's a 10-point Pelican lead.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
Now here's Aldridge over Okafor. Aldridge, no luck.
And this is a guy that can get you stops. Aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting the mid-range jumper as well.
Here is Rondo, picked by Okafor. Rondo kicks to Moore. Tries again, and it's Davis missing. Now here's Murray. He's covered by Rondo.
2.
He gets the first, and that brings them within single digits. And the Spurs with some changes. Pau Gasol is checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in for Kyle Anderson. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Green. New Orleans also making some changes. Miller's checked in for Moore, and it's DeAndre Liggins in for Drew Holiday. And so Murray nails both of them. Here's Liggins. Pass to Rondo. Davis sets a screen. Okafor dishes to Miller. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Liggins. From outside, off the mark. This one just all but in the books.
Yeah, too many points, not enough time.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Now here's Rondo. So we see the Pelicans get the win here. This was a very strong showing for them, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Anthony, tell us the focus for the team coming into the game tonight.
Well, before we started the game, Coach came in and told us that we knew what we had to do. We were trying to stop a lot of their actions, and our biggest focus for the game was guard the ball. That's what we did coming out of that timeout and never looked back.
And it led to a win. Thank you for your time, Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.